the Archon Drazov the Ashen.
And Chartar the Bull.
Shartar, yep. Uh, and I think if I recall correctly, one of the last things that was done was Acrius revealed that Acrius has a mark on his arm now that Drazov bestowed upon him. Correct me if I'm wrong, was that the last thing that we did?
No, that sounds
Yeah.
right.
I also have a hat of comprehend languages.
Yes.
I did.
Someone has it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I believe that's Poggle's, 'cause it's out of the chest. So yeah, that's where we last played, and where we last left off. Take it away if you want. If you guys don't have anything you want to do, then I can go. Just go ahead.
That's looting.
Did we rest here?
Yes.
Yes, I
We just finished a long rest.
Put up a tiny hut. You got a full
So
rest.
we have our friend here. So I guess upon waking up, say to the party, what do we want to do with our friend Kosk?
Other question: does HP reset when you take a long rest?
everything. You see, there's like a long rest button on your character sheet in the top.
Oh, Bjergsen announced his retirement.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna coach now.
You can
He's the
also
head coach.
prepare different spells, Charles.
I will look through my spellbook.
You just hit the long rest button though. It'll give you all the.
It didn't restore my health, but I think it's over there.
You hit
In
it
roll
and
20, you have to change it differently.
Okay.
you have to hit keep long rest and then hit confirm on it. Is what you need to do.
Yeah, I got it.
So, what are we doing with our friend in the other room?
Mr. Kosk. Well, we just sacrificed his brother. I shouldn't say we, but his brother was.
died.
I'm
Is
okay
he
with
still?
this.
Alex? Do we?
Is he still what?
No.
I should probably.
Or anything like? Why is he still? Was he hiding?
He was hiding,
we
and we
tiny
said,
hut
yeah.
in here and block the door, so he's still there. And I think we just tell him the Ashen killed his brother. Get the hell out of here, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm concerned that if he, judging from what Acrius and Zelko said, it sounds like once they get within a certain proximity of him, they are forced to, obey him, like their brands activate or whatever.
I think we're kind of hurting ourselves if we don't remove him from the equation.
Alright.
As much as I like to convince people to lay down their arms, this doesn't seem like they get to choose their own path here.
Before we
Feels
kill
like they
him,
might,
conduct a little test. I'm gonna walk out with my brand revealed and see what he does. Then I'm gonna walk out with my brand hidden and see what he does, and see. Let's just try to figure out how this thing works.
Yeah, more information.
I
Better.
agree. I think that's a good idea.
I'll here with my brand revealed, Franklin.
He's sleeping.
Okay. Is he just asleep?
Yep.
Okay. Brand, I hide it and reveal it and hide it and reveal it. Does anything happen whatsoever?
He's just sleeping.
I come back and say he didn't seem to care. He's asleep at all.
I'm not sure if he could be affected if he was asleep. Well, it's good to know that it's not. It doesn't go through sleep. Do we want to try waking him up? I agree that we should get some data on how this brand works.
Why are you moving yourself around?
I meant to go over here, but I couldn't find where over here was.
I'm gonna stand here with my brand revealed and just yell at the top of my lungs, Frank.
Okay. He wakes up.
Hello.
Groggily like wipes his eyes and like stands up. Turns around, looks at you. Seems as if he's about to say hail, and then when he sees the brand, like eyes red.
All right, then I hide
Starts
the
like running.
I hide it, and I keep looking at him.
He seems still angry, kind of still enraged a bit, but it kind of calming down.
I'm gonna stand here until he starts walking toward me or doing anything aggressive to see if he keeps calming down.
Just kind of standing there snarling.
I mean,
I'm gonna move in there and tell the group that.
he might be considering you as the same team. We might even need one of us sort of behind you.
You think he? I don't think that guy has the brand. What do you mean?
What I'm saying is that might make him aggressive towards the enemies of Alex doesn't remember Drezoth. And
Drezoth, yeah.
you're technically a sworn chosen of Drezoth.
Okay. You guys pile into the room, and I'm gonna slowly walk toward him. And if he attacks me, please kill him.
Alright, I'm gonna walk to here, Frank.
I'm gonna keep an eye on these proceedings as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep my brand hidden this whole time, Frank.
Okay.
What is he doing right now?
Silver Pog. He's still like looks angry. He looks somewhat feral, is the best way to describe him. Which is distinctly different from how he was the other day.
Here.
Starts kind of standing taller.
What was his name? Sorry, this is
Toss.
Kosk.
Hello, Kosk?
Kind of like snarls.
Kosk, say something. Hello.
Like starts somewhat guttural roaring.
I'm gonna back up to here.
Same deal.
I think this might have something happened, and he wasn't doing this yesterday.
So what is he? Does he appear aggressive to you, Acreus, or?
He's like feral. This is the priest, right? He's like a feral.
The priest.
Not
The
the
priest.
priest. This is brother.
Priest jumped off a roof.
I look to the group and say, "What should we do?" Like, I can't get a read on him. I don't know if he's aggressive because of the brand, or he's feral, or what's going on.
I mean, why don't you walk out of the room and we'll see if he calms down.
The haze seems to have lifted from him, and he kind of just looks back as he was when he was communicating with you normally.
How are you
Kosk.
feeling, Kosk?
Groggy. Tired.
So, Kosk, what do we think we should do?
Don't know.
All right, one more experiment, boys. I'm gonna go try to give him. I'm gonna go try to get into melee range of him. If he swings at me, fucking end him. And then I'm gonna get here.
Feral.
I'm here with my brand hidden, and I'm looking at him.
All right.
When you get close, he kind of reaches to pick you up.
Do I can make an animal handling check if you'd like, but I realize
An animal.
or is he like?
No, he's kind of like reaching out with both hands to pick you up.
Does it look like he's aggressively trying to pick him up, or
Yeah.
like I'm gonna
No,
lead
he's
my
just kind of
champion to
looking
battle?
pick him up.
Okay, I'm gonna let him pick me up. If he tries killing me, please kill him, and I'm going to get closer.
Picks you up. He moves you here. And now he begins to charge Zelkos.
I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery.
I'm gonna stand in his way.
Okay, so as he moves you, you want to stand in the way. You three down here, considering how this will be combat, I'm going to have you three roll initiative.
That's
So
fine.
wait, Acreus, you had your brand hidden the entire time,
I had my
or
brand
you?
hidden the entire time. I think it just makes them angry toward everyone who's not me. I think that's what's going on. I won't even roll because I don't think I'll.
Roll.
He has like 60.
You
right?
absolutely should roll because you know these guys have more than 60 health.
Where am I?
And Zelkos, as soon as he can, is gonna yell, "Poggles!"
Who's
went up to the
upstairs?
roof?
Poggles,
He doesn't know that.
Poggles can't hear you.
And Voltos is out in the gatehouse looting.
You know that Voltos is
For the
there.
record, Voltos, you're not really gonna find anything. Like I said, you'll
Oh,
find typical
I'm taking the weapons. I don't care.
Sure, you'll find like their typical bronze weapons.
Also, Castor's corpse is over here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going over there in a minute.
The arrow.
Well, it fell down the mountain. It's not gonna be on the It's not gonna be on the path.
There's nowhere for it to go.
This is like elevation. Think topographic.
Alright, well, I'm
map.
casting fly on myself,
Like-
and I'm going for his corpse.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Also,
Have
what
fun downstairs.
what do we do with the thorned axe and the staff?
Well,
Yeah.
the
I have
thorned
the
axe-
staff.
Okay, and the
yeah,
statue we
thorned
blew up.
axe Canthos has. He's got the staff. You broke the statue, and whatever was on Castor has fallen down into the pit.
I think I technically would have attuned to the axe over the long rest, right?
Yes.
Just get that on what that actually is. At some
will-
point.
Let you know after this.
Yeah, of course. It's not important.
Okay. His roll. We'll just add him to the initiative here.
Roll the 0.
Oh, I didn't roll yet. With a 1.
Might as well have been a 0.
We want to kill him, correct? Or am I missing something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I assume now you guys do. Okay, so yeah, he kind of like starts dragging his hoof in the dirt here on the ground here, and it looks as if he's about to charge, so...
Yeah, I understand that. Bonus action, disengage, jump up to here, and then shoot him.
but he the one.
Hit, hit, hit.
That much damage.
21,
37.
35, 37, yeah.
I yell, sorry, I keep it. What was his name?
Cost.
Kosk.
Ask, what are you doing? And then I pass my turn.
Zelkos.
I'm gonna yell to him, "You don't stand a chance," and cast Vicious Mockery. So DC 16 Wisdom save.
Big damage roll.
Oh.
No.
All right, so he's gonna take 8,
2
Psychic
nat ones in a row
damage.
for cost.
and he's going to have disadvantage on his next attack roll, and I'm gonna back up.
Canathos.
Okay, I'm gonna walk 2 steps up to him and take a swing with the longsword.
Yep.
I do not have the monkey, by the way, because he's dead. Or yeah, he's dead.
He's resummoned. We had a long rest.
But I do have the monkey.
Yep,
All right.
He's orange now.
15.
Actually, orange looks a little too close to you.
There we go. That's nice. I like that.
Royal monkey.
All right, so swing number
You hit.
1, 15. Swing number 2, 15. Oh, sorry, no, 13 for the second attack.
Won't hit on the second one, you will hit on the first.
So 15 damage.
Okay. I assume that's everything.
All right.
Unless you want it to maneuver. I don't know.
Do you want to
Sure,
maneuver, or are you...
Yeah, I'm sorry, no, I'm just here. I'm just
He
standing
attacks you.
between.
No. Tries to gore you. No,
Yikes.
he's done.
Ox is pretty doomed, actually.
Yeah, I don't think it actually... I don't think he can do enough to kill you guys now, unless you all 3 of you roll nat 1s, and, Oh wait, he had disadvantage. He really doesn't hit you on that one. And then, yeah, he's fine. Nothing changed. Yeah, go ahead. He's like furiously roaring now. He is dead.
Frank, can I make an animal channeling check to see if it understood what this thing was doing, or what was going on?
He's not an animal.
Animal handling?
It's insight.
Yeah, this would be. He's technically a humanoid. You would have to do some type of insight on them.
Right. So, like, when Stella was acting like a cat, we did an animal handling check.
Yeah, but that was a stretch, and because she thought she was a cat.
He's not really an animal. He is very clearly not being himself, and he is very clearly under some type of enthrallment here. Yeah, he
It's
really
pretty
wants.
clear that insight wouldn't work in that situation because
He really wants to kill the people in front of him.
22. That's a pop.
Yeah, you can tell he doesn't mean any ill will towards you, but you can tell that he very much has problems with the people standing in front of him.
Okay. And then he's a god.
And then with that, he falls down and dies. But as he dies, he like looks over at you and he's sad because he thought that you were his friend.
Fucking
You
sad.
also glean that off of your insight.
I'm
You have to kill.
sorry, friend. And then
Let's go find the rest of us and get the fuck out
I'm
of
gonna
here.
check if he has any cash on him. Actually, no, I'm not.
No.
That's other character would do that.
Puggles will walk down to the bridge.
No, he is somewhat. He's got his big axe. That's what he's got on.
I'll say some funeral rites for him, and give him 2 copper coin, or give him a copper coin, and then head out.
You're on the roof, right?
Yeah, Puggles walk down.
Frank, how many arrows can I find here? Like a line around. You said that somewhere there were arrows, and I don't remember where, but there were arrows.
Yeah, it was this back room here, I believe, if I recall correctly. It was like a basic quiver with like your general quiver's worth of arrows in it. I do not know how much. Actually, there's like, it would make sense that there'd be 2 quivers in here at the very least. So
I'm just gonna have 30 arrows.
yeah, however many quivers, however many arrows fit in a general quiver, you may add ×2.
Frank, I'm gonna very carefully and slowly go check out this area.
Yes.
What do I see? Alright, I'm gonna. Do I see anything of use in there?
You see a corpse here, which I didn't put down.
Alright,
It
I'm gonna
looks
go.
humanoid.
I'm gonna get to like here. What? Do they look like a human or a minotaur? Or...
That looks like a Crowan soldier.
Boy, howdy. I'm gonna shout over to. Hey, Canathos. We got a crow in here, dead. I don't know if we want to try to find their. The what?
Outside? Like, where are you? I'm inside the fortress right now.
Yeah, well, sort of, and I'll sort of start walking back in here and guide him over.
Come with you. Oh my god, what happened here?
Over there.
Alright, Frank. What do I see here?
Down that way.
Go find this dead man. Ah, the
Fucking
boat!
The boat is the body.
Alright.
Respect.
It's always the boat.
I'll
you
make investigation.
Yeah, give me an investigation.
I will assist, so you get advantage.
Oh, thank you. 10?
Yeah, he's pretty mangled and definitely not breathing.
So you're gonna say he's dead.
He is dead. He's mangled. He's not breathing. He looks like he has a big hole right in his chest, which you can only assume is from a minotaur goring him.
Okay.
And it's pretty easy to see he's got this piece of paper or parchment clutched in his hand.
Alright, well, I will be certainly taking that.
All right.
What do I need to do? Can I just grab it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, I'm gonna grab it and read it. What does it say?
part of it's covered in, well, some type of red substance. I couldn't imagine what that is. But what you can make out looks like orders to, I guess, a military company is what it would be. It seems like it's a list of orders or a list of information.
Okay. What can I try and make out what it's ordering him to do, or like them to do?
Sure. So what you can make out basically reads, Minotaurs are organized, can't defend for long, need, and then it kind of just a bunch of blood.
Got you. Okay.
And then it picks up again afterwards saying, may Erois spare us all. And then it kind of ends.
May who?
Erois, which you
Oh, yeah.
know to be the god of victory.
Yeah.
And that is
well,
not often how you praise Erois, so...
Yeah. All right. Well, good find, Zelkos. This poor bastard.
I'll grab a copper, say some prayers for him, and leave him be.
Do I see who this was addressed to, Frank? This letter?
It just says a pro and command.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Poggle starts walking down the mountain.
Poggles is what?
He's gonna start walking down the mountain.
I'll do his flying thing first.
Well, can I see
Oh.
Caster? I got several questions. One,
Yeah.
were his things still magical when he walked out and got chucked, or chucked
Yes.
himself? Okay, can I see his corpse?
Yes. It's down a ways, but you can make out something.
Alright, we're going down.
Okay. So we're just gonna fast forward this. You fly down, you see his now, like, very clearly broken body. And I guess you're gonna give me a detect magic or something?
I'm not going to give you a tech magic because that would kill me. We're just going to take everything of importance off him.
Okay. Sure. So the only things that are of any importance on him are he has a mace.
Take that.
He has, like, his shamanistic clothing, which if you would like to take that and leave him naked, you're more than welcome to. He has his water skin,
Take that.
and he has a headdress, and that's like it.
Take the headdress too. Okay.
Did you take his clothing?
No, the clothing instead.
I mean, you can kick it onto the road and then detect magic on the way back.
It is all
That-
the... Oh, yeah, I guess you can do that, technically. You can...
Isn't the road lower than that mountainside?
No. Big topographic, this falls down.
Oh, I thought you said earlier that it was
That's why I had to fly in the
that
first
we were in
place.
a valley. On the road. Okay.
No, this is like the crest of two elevations is the path going up.
Huh. Okay.
That's how I understand it, at least.
That's how it is, yeah. Alright, so you got that stuff. These lads over...
Poggles.
You're what?
I'm looking for Poggles. It looks like he started to make his way down the mountain. So
Mm-hmm.
And Acreus, you grabbed arrows. So you're all kind of heading out, I imagine, and along the way you will likely encounter Valtos on the path, just kind of detecting magic, I guess, on various articles of clothing and things that he has pilfered from the outpost.
okay, yeah. Did you tell us anything, Baltos?
About what?
Where you are?
I said I was going upstairs, and then you guys did the Minotaur thing, and I haven't seen you since.
Okay. Well, Poggles is leaving, so I'm gonna follow Poggles because I don't want to lose him.
I guess
And
I
I'm
would be
hoping-
making my way back towards the fortress after doing that.
Yeah, I guess I would have
Solve
stayed
the
in the
problems.
fortress and just shouted out to Valtos using minor illusion.
What are you shouting out to me?
Valtos, where are you?
I'm walking up the path, and I've met Canathos and Boggles.
Oh, good. It's good to see you. I think we're heading out, so why don't you if you're going back to the fortress, why don't you get the rest of us and get us out of here?
I was ready to go. I'm just waiting on you guys.
You
Yeah,
just
I
you
think
just hear a
Valkos
booming voice yelling, "Valtos, where are you?"
is
Somebody yell at
worried
him.
that you're lost.
I'm
I don't
gonna.
wanna yell at
I'll
him.
point to you and say, "Go fly to him."
Fly.
I guess I can. I'll just go fly back over here. And tell
Okay.
Zelkos, let's go.
I like how you were just walking around in circles there.
Just shouting.
Yeah.
I asked my friends I'm with on the mountain, where is our Minotaur friend?
I'm gonna fly over here.
We did some science experiments on my brand, and he's no longer with us.
Okay.
I will turn to Canados and say, you should probably tell your wife she's in danger. That Archon and his minions are headed south.
Yeah, no, I mean, the problem is I'm worried about us. I'll be very blunt with you, Acarius. I'm worried about us getting close because I don't know what kind of influence he can exert over you. Poggles, do you think, uh, do we think Farika will have any knowledge of this kind of thing?
Not sure. I haven't spoken to her. I can ask my smoke snake.
Maybe
That
ask
might
if
be
you have a way to
good.
remove the brand safely.
Right. Medicine.
I'll pull my hand away and say, why do we want this thing removed?
In case he has some sort of control over you.
So we know that it tells us where the army is, and we think he can control me. Is that what we're worried about?
How do we know it tells us where the army is?
We were there. He says he'll tell us exactly where his army's headed
Oh,
through the
yeah.
brand.
Guide you. We're worried that the means of communication he might have with you is not purely a means of communication.
Yeah, it's a big gamble.
I mean, Poggle, you can inspect me and try to figure it out.
I mean, what would I be inspecting for?
I don't know.
I can ask if we should try to get it removed and see what the stars say.
I think that's a good idea.
I would say if you want to consult your.
Yeah, I'll consult the snake. And I will ask it, should we spend time trying to get this brand removed? I don't know if that's the
not how you
correct way
ask
to
the
ask
question.
it, but
You would ask
know.
So you're asking it if you should. You're asking it if you should have the brand, or if you should remove the brand, or if
He's
you should.
asking what were the results of removing the brand.
Oh, that's gonna be a wheel and woe type of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's just gonna be a wheel and woe. So as soon as you ask that, the snake's eyes kind of like go wide, and it does the tongue slip and head motions that you understand to be some good's going to come from this, but also that might not be the best thing to do right now.
I think we should just return back and not worry too much about it.
Okay.
I think our friend Acarius is a strong fellow.
Yeah, I'll be fine. And then I'll turn to Canathos and say, that's a weird way of saying thank you for letting me know my wife is in danger.
Yes, Acarius, thank you. But I worry not only for my wife being in danger, but all of Akros being in danger. But right now, you all are my responsibility, and danger from within is the worst kind of danger.
I understand. Zelkos has a pretty good read on me, so if I start acting strange, he'll know exactly what's up.
That is fair.
So as you guys keep walking, as you do, you end up stumbling upon basically your hobo-looking wizard at this point in time, who's just kind of going through the various things he has pilfered from dead bodies.
Wait, did he fly Second time? Fly back down?
Yeah, he flew down the path again.
I've just been waiting here. I expected you guys to come down.
Are you
I assumed
detecting
we were
magic
talking
yet,
and
or-
I am
walking.
detecting magic. Flight is done.
Yeah, we were
detecting
walking.
magic.
Hold on.
Sure. So the only thing of note that you got that detects magic is, or that pings magic is, the water skin. That's it.
All right.
Is that it?
Yeah, we're going
Yeah,
down the
that's
path.
Okay. So you make your way down. Basically, as you made your way up, there's really no issue. There's no patrols going on this path anyway, as it wouldn't really make much sense to. And also, the Archon believes that the fortress has been secured for him by, well, his new recruits.
Yep.
As you get down, though, Canathos, you feel a ping in your pocket.
Oh no. Okay. Is it the cube or my ring? Oh, it's the
It
cube.
is the cube.
All right. I'm gonna
That
whip
cube
it
is
out.
glowing.
Yep. I'm gonna whip it out. What does Ugo have for me?
Ugo asks, any updates? Haven't heard from you all in a while. Want to
Well,
make sure everything's on schedule.
I liberated a fortress in Akros, or north of Akros in Deathbellow Canyon, but are you aware of the developments in the situation? Like, there's an Archon up here. He's not friendly.
Some time passes by as you're walking, and you get another ping. It's kind of the equivalent of long pause, and then him saying, "I think, I think your task is over. I don't think that's. You should." Another long pause. Return. I'll meet you in Akros.
It might be best.
He says with a question, like almost with a question mark at the end.
Why are you coming to Akros? We.
He says, "Go ahead."
Yeah, no. Why are you coming to Akros? Very dangerous here.
He is the danger.
He says in response. He says back. Fair point. I guess we should talk. I guess Miletus then, probably safer.
Is this the conclusion of the trials? What should we talk about? Like, I'm happy to see you, but the situation has gotten far worse than just the trials.
He kind of responds back and says, "Well, the developments on the trials end are bad as well. Less than stellar. Many teams have not come back. So we wish to discuss the future relevance of this. But if you are busy, then by all means, keep me waiting."
So I'm gonna, turn to the party here. I've been narrating as I've gone and say, we might as well close this chapter if there's no objections. This seems to have become far bigger than the trials.
Best for us to get out of here as well.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Millet.
I mean, didn't we learn that the trials were being manipulated or something?
For that, yeah. Like, and I think every party had different tasks, so we don't know. Like, a lot of them didn't come back, but it might be good to know what happened to those other groups and gauge the parties that didn't come back and see if they're part of the perpetrator of this. So, Miletus, should we, assuming we have the means to travel there?
Miletus.
Yeah.
Yes. we're walking, I will say to Canthos, you should probably tell your wife to write a letter to the General of Akros, saying that the Archon is not aligned with Mogris, and that he actually is like a renegade. Or you can write the letter yourself. I just think
Yeah.
it's throwing
I mean,
military.
we'll be passing the general on the way out. That's not
Are
Good,
we?
good.
Oh yeah, never
Yeah.
mind. Sorry. Yeah, go for it. Well, I'll let Krishna handle that when we actually get there. So I didn't realize that.
To be
So
fair, it's been
yeah,
a
I think
couple weeks.
sitting
Yeah.
down, Frank. I'm thinking.
Yep. So, as you're going down this path, it doesn't take very long, all things considered, to get back to the. I'll just pull you back on that. Doesn't really take all that long to get back to, I guess, the riverside, or the river area.
Yep.
And really come across the encampment, or the Crone encampment here.
So as we're walking, I'm just gonna do a couple of like fact checking with Acreus and Zelkos just to make sure I understand what happened. Drazoth is his name, right? Drazoth the Ashen.
Mm-hmm.
He did not appear to be affiliated with Mogris, to your
He
understanding.
explicitly named each of the gods in his list of enemies.
He also, you said he seemed a little simple, like in his thought, like unsophisticated.
That was Acris's thought, is that, he just fight, kill, conquer.
Yeah, he didn't seem to have grand plans, I guess is the way I'd put it.
Because I even
I
said,
wonder if-
what would you do once you had everything? And he just said, well, then I'd have it. Like he doesn't have a goal to a reason to conquer besides to conquer.
Worry that he might be part of the larger conspiracy we're investigating, but I
Yeah,
also
something
am
might
not
have let him loose.
yeah, right. But I'm not sure how much of that is wise to share with High Command.
Right. So you think letting them think that he's affiliated with Mogris is a good idea for the time being?
If it'll inspire them to take action against him, they have to hold this line.
I mean, I think telling them that he's against all the gods should get any faction to support fighting against him, right?
Probably.
The Crowan's not as.
Crowans really hate Mogris.
Okay.
But yeah. No, I think that's probably right. Maybe if we just avoid mentioning Mogris by name, this will go smoothly.
Did you say we even met the Archon? Should we just say, "Oh, we conquered the fortress, and the Archon was coming, and we left"?
You will certainly invite suspicion upon you if we relay the actual events that transpired. So let us be a little discreet about how we talk about it. I think determining the Archon's motivations, abilities, and forces available to him are things we can share, but not more than that.
I mean, we could have also said one of his someone important in his ranks shared the information, which is entirely
Certainly.
true.
No, certainly. I
Upon
don't
our questioning.
imagine there will be too much skepticism with the information we want. We're returning from something they probably didn't even expect us to return from.
There are usually minotaurs. Are there occasionally minotaurs in the Akroan military?
No. We don't
Okay.
like Minotaur.
Minotaur is bad.
Okay, that's fine.
But in like every other part of the world, Minotaurs
Yes.
are chill, right?
Like in Theros?
Yeah.
Relatively chill.
Like there's no hatred, I would say, outside of a crow.
I think Melodus, they don't love them. Like, it's not that they're super receptive in the way. It's just that there's other things that take precedence over your race. So if you're like a merchant, a Minotaur.
It's worth noting that nobody really particularly. Minotaurs their culture tends to be one of like rampage and slaughter because they're so closely affiliated to Focus. Right. That being said, it is not unheard of for Minotaurs to like assimilate into other cultures and other societies and kind of like cast down the what we do is kill and that's all we do. It's just that they're one of the few races on Theros that are born into essentially a class of worship, right? They don't really get to choose what god they worship. They kind of are born worshipping Mogus because that's just what Minotaurs do.
Also, sorry, go ahead, Frank. You finish your.
No, but it is not unheard of for a Minotaur to like a Minotaur of Theros anyway to worship other gods or join other temples and such. It's just wildly uncommon.
Because yeah, I had
and it's
in my
never done in. It is never something that will happen in Akros. Akros, they are more likely to kill a Minotaur on sight than actively invite one into the city limits.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had in my backstory that there was a Minotaur living in my village, so I wanted to make sure that wasn't insanely
that checks.
possible.
That is possible. It's just, if you were living in Akros, I would say it's secret hidden Minotaur.
Sure.
I'm wondering if Canathos was onto something in that we don't really tell the Akroan generals anything. Like,
we need to incentivize them to hold the line. And so any details about the strength of the enemy's forces, his capabilities, I think is useful information we should give them because they have to hold the north. If this sweep is coming from the north, it could affect all of Theros.
I'll leave you to do talking, but you call me in if you need me to make any point seem especially important.
Thank you. I hope we won't need to turn to that, but
I don't need magic right away, but once you give me a direction, I can pick it up and run with it.
That's great. So yeah, I feel prepared to talk to Horus now. This is very, very critical though. Like the Akroans have to hold the north for us to even have time to get to the bottom of this conspiracy.
Agreed. Let's go.
Perfect.
Okay.
So, student player question: Puggles and Valtos were there, just listening, or is that separate?
We're on the boat at this point, right?
Yeah.
And
no, you're not on the boat because the boat.
We gotta go past the general to get to the boat.
Yeah, the boat's behind the chain, right? They didn't actually.
Yeah, he held the chain there until you guys got back.
You were walking. You definitely heard all this, though.
You were both involved in this conversation, so
yeah, no attempt was made to keep any of this.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure.
But I'm completely willing to defer to Canathos and Zelkos as to how they want to play this, because they know the situation better.
Okay, good. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else beyond we're getting there.
Okay. So yeah, I actually have a map for this now. Give me a sec. But yeah, so I guess you start heading back towards where your boat is, and you see where the chain is. You see your boat's still there. You see smoke you see smoke rising in the distance. It doesn't look like it's like fields burning or anything like that, as you're familiar with from seeing this before. But it's very much seems like it's typical Akroan encampment as you are used to, or as you're used to seeing.
Okay.
Hold on. Fuck. Yeah, so you approach up, and you're greeted once again by a bunch of hoplites that kind of spring upon you and say, like, business, or you guys lost?
We're
You.
returning from our mission.
Fetch me General Horace. He'll want to hear this.
And as soon as you say that, one of them's like, well, how do we know you're really going to help us here? Like, what's going on?" And as soon as one of them starts saying that, familiar captain kind of walks up and says, "At ease, lads. This is they're here to help. The general's over this way," and he kind of like leads you up the ridge to an encampment that they have set up, or to the main encampment. Into a large tent.
General?
As you're walking there, you can tell that there's a very weary lot around you. The Crowan military seems like it's in rather poor sort right now. Everyone seems very tired and very on edge for what could be coming. You also see a large pile of, not so much pile, but you see a large amount of dead soldiers just kind of lined out with coins in their eyes and masks that are being prepared for them. So
Okay.
that's when you enter the tent.
Have there been further skirmishes?
You're asking the general?
Yeah.
Back to you, he says, "Oh yes, I'm glad to see you're back in one piece, hopefully. B, yes, there have been a large number of Minotaur that descended from the mountains. We were actually fearful that none of you would make it back because they were coming down from the general area that you crossed into. Funny how that is, I guess. We sent you right in, and I guess as we sent you in, they walked right out. So yes, one could say there were a number of skirmishes that happened that occurred while you were gone. And he turns around and he's got a bandage covering his eye.
I sort of wince a bit, but I know that it would be insulting to comment on it. So I'm going to produce that blood and soaked letter I had, show that to him, and well, General, I'm afraid the news does not get better.
That does not comfort me.
We have strong evidence that the Archon is against the gods and has wished to see all the gods ruined and intends to begin his conquest of Theros with Akros. He's from the north and he intends to sweep down into the land proper, and he has considerable means. He has the means to drive the Minotaurs into a rage, and there was mentions of an army. So nothing short of full consolidation of all forces available to Akros at this time in an effort to hold this line will suffice.
He kind of looks around, scans all. I assume all of you are in the tent. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says,
I'm nodding.
he kind of just looks out. Says, did you see it? Did you see the Archon?
Yes.
Is it there?
No. We saw it. His whereabouts now are unknown.
That does not make me feel good.
Nope. And there was a strong message, a single-minded message of intent to raise this land.
I see. Um, kind of like looks around. I don't think we can hold this.
Do we
I
need
will
to
be
fall back?
honest.
Fall back to Akros? We need to fall back to the vantage point we can and hold that because there will be a war.
Right. My problem here is uh we have a lot of there's a lot of green men here. They they're not really ready for what's coming.
Yeah, when did the
Yes.
service become a bunch of glorified bureaucrats? It's not how it was in my day.
Like he lets out a chuckle. He's like, yeah. When you start letting everyone into the military, uh, it's hard to find the diamond in the rough.
So I'm gonna
There's a
turn
lot
to
more rough
Zelkos
than
here
there is diamond.
and say this is why we start the kids when they're 11 and 12,
Yeah.
so we don't get clowns like this.
I wouldn't say clowns, but yes, it's look. We were attacked. As you can see, my forces are, I don't want to say dwindling, but in poor shape. And I'm not sure if we can hold this. Now, I can't just go back to Akros, because what would that look like?
I think you must.
A general of my stature giving
Of
up
course.
front like this.
Uh,
Hold on. The only act I see is moving forward. Holding the line is not something we're good at. We're not. We have numbers on them,
no,
and
I don't think you
hopefully
do.
we can sweep through.
And I think half of the people here I'd count as 1/5 of a soldier.
Did you see? Do you have any idea how large their numbers are? Because 100 of them descended upon us, and I mean that's a typical raiding party. If they have one or two more of that size, then I'm sure we can muster some type of force to go take them on where they live.
Frank, did the Archon give us a number?
That's what I was about to
That's
say.
I'm going to. I see this back and
No.
forth. Say, look here, General. There is no shot you can move forward and survive.
Yeah, Horace,
Value your life.
it's not raiding parties. Every Minotaur in Death Bellow Canyon is going to be coming for us at once. You cannot hold this place. We need to fall back to Akros. We cannot go forward. You will be the laughing stock if you make this decision.
He just looks at you and says, I'm already going to be the laughing stock for giving up this position.
There's no shame in fortification. We have no good option, but what you suggest is not an option at all.
I'll look at Kathos and say, I didn't know Crowan generals were so suicidal.
He thinks it'll restore his honor, but that's not what we're fighting for right now.
He kind of like he looks down and he looks back up. If you saw the Archon, and you didn't strike him down,
I look at him intently, waiting for
This
him to
is-
say the line.
this really must be a true calamity that is about to descend upon Akros. If your skilled party was not able to deal that blow to them, then I fear for what's on the horizon.
Yes. No, you please believe my words. This is not something we could have defeated. This is not something all of us here can defeat. And this is an existential threat to Akros. We must collect any other leaders and of armies that we can, of any strata we can find, and align them for the protection of Akros. The entire realm depends on it.
And I'm gonna say, if you're curious, he looked kind of like this but bigger, and I'm gonna summon just sort of like a 3 foot by 3 foot like image of the Archon and his mount with minor illusion.
And I'll give an
Wasn't
estimate
easy
for his
foe for
actual
us.
size, like, and whatever hand spans or
Yeah.
whatever metric we should use.
That is. Question.
Yes.
I don't see any. Is this exactly as he looks?
Thereabouts. And I'm gonna cast Silent Image and make him fill the 15-foot cube and give him sort of all the auditory and sensory. Oh no, it's just visual. So yeah, just visual of that. And be like, well, this is a little easier to see, and just sort of fill the tent with him. And I can sort of animate him a bit, so he's sort of looking around, his mouth's looking around.
Looking at it. I figured an Archon of Mogus would have some type of iconography denoting allegiance, but I guess I'm wrong in that.
I look to
This truly is.
Kenethos.
You what?
I'm like looking at you to see if we're supposed to step in here.
I'm just holding my silence for now.
Yeah, and he just kind of looks saddened and then says, "Okay, are you still traveling upriver to deal with your task up there, whatever it might be?"
No, I intend to return to Akros, speak to any in high command that will listen, to warn them of this threat, and then
Oh, I didn't fucking move you guys over. Hold on, keep going.
and then make perhaps the other cities aware of this threat as well. This is something bigger than all of us.
Right. Might I be able to hand you off? It's going to take me a while to get everyone moving here. You know how it generally is.
Yes.
Do you mind if I hand off some orders, some requests for you to pass off to anyone at Akros, and let them know that they need to get as many supplies ready for us to resupply, as well as refit this stratum here, and that we're coming back to fortify the greater area.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
we can.
Forgot to move you. So.
Oh. Wait, is this the river?
Yeah, it's where it forks.
Oh, this is sick. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, we think we can handle that. I was gonna look to the companions, make sure no one has a problem with it, but
I nod.
Nobody's got a problem with it.
Yeah,
I think,
I'll shrug.
yeah, no, we gotta get this done.
Sure. Okay. Then I would go return to your ship. I'm going to get this written out, and I'll send someone down to hand you the orders I wish for you to convey. give me about 10 minutes or so just to get everything together, and
Yep. All right.
I'm gonna head back to the ship.
I'll get back
Yep.
to you.
I guess we're all gonna head back to the ship, and then I'm gonna turn to the party and say, we're still agreed that meeting Ugo is for the best, right? Close that chapter. Maybe that meeting will provide us with additional insights.
Yeah,
Pull out the scroll of our mission. Did we complete our mission?
we're supposed to
That's a good
stop.
point.
We're supposed to stop like bandit raids.
In Death Valley Canyon. So, Frank, I'm going to open up that scroll, and what do I see?
You see an asterisk next to it,
All right.
and
I
the
don't
asterisk
think
reads, return back to Miletus.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, let's get the fuck out of here.
Does anyone have any other thoughts about? Maybe we should even consider a trip to Setessa after Miletus. Will people reinforce the North? I struggle to think. I shudder to think if he breaks Akros, it may be too late.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to rally the Setessan people to a threat that they don't even know exists, more or less.
I think also we probably need to just get to the source of this. Like we all
Right.
said, it seems like someone set him loose in order to do something. So we got to maybe find out whoever did that and get them to call him off or send him back where he came from.
So Adunos then.
I think
We
so.
need time for that though as well.
Yeah, exactly. We need to organize things to try to buy time for us. But I agree, Zelkos. I think our destiny is in Odunos now. But this detour for Ugo may be illuminating. So, Frank, I think we're just had this chat, waiting the 10 minutes for this guy to show up with.
Sure. Well, the general hobbles on over to. He hobbles on over to. I don't know this. It's like here-ish on the ridge. Or I guess it's more like here, and he comes down like a makeshift ladder he has to a little lower, and he kind of like waves over to you
All right,
in the ship.
I'll go up to him. I'll disembark and head towards him.
He kind of like throws you a rolled up parchment, and he says, let them know, or at least hand this off to someone, and whoever you hand it off to, tell them to get the envoys to Areskos ready. We're gonna need help with this one.
All right.
And for the love of it all, I truly hope those bureaucrats can see eye to eye with the Leonin, because we're going to need every able-bodied individual possible to hold this. Now, get out there and
Yep.
I
Good luck, General.
get out there.
I don't envy you.
He lets out a laugh and kind of gives you a salute and walks
Yep, I'll
slowly
salute
back to the
back.
ladder and painfully seems like he starts climbing.
All right, gents, let's head downriver.
Yep, sailing to Akros.
I'll be back in 1 sec.
Yep. Let me move you guys. All right. Should be back on the main. All right, so you're just gonna end up sailing down the river to Akros, no stops, just go as fast as you can.
Yep, we're going to Akros. Full speed.
Sure. Well, you make good time, and you get there with pretty much no issue.
Oh, we came off a long rest at the start of this, didn't we, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
It's always a good thing to have pocketed.
Just have a crit pocketed.
Mm-hmm.
Seems good. Seems good.
Do you have Witch Bolt, L?
No.
So as you get closer up
Sure.
as you get to Akros, like I said, make good time. No real issue getting here. Not like anyone's really stopping you. You know where the general malign forces are. And they're not in front of you. That's for sure. So as you get to Akros, you see that bridge you're very familiar with, and the general asks you to pass off this information to any official, and I guess that's on you to figure out who you want to pass this off to.
Yeah, so as we're making it into bridge, do we get hailed by any sort of...
Yeah, you know, the typical. As you're coming in, you're getting hailed by your harbor master friend, but it doesn't seem like he's the same guy as before. It seems like another
Right.
man's on duty.
So, where's the closest military outpost? I'm gonna ask him.
I think you might just know the answer to this without asking.
Yeah, sure.
He kind of like looks at you. He's like, "Well, that would be the city proper."
City proper.
He kind of like points up. He says, "The military academy," and I guess it would just end up being the general council up there. Why is there an issue? It's been
I come bearing information from General Horace. Critical information.
I see. Is this something that I'm able to look over, or is this a need to know only?
Discretion is key, but if you are... Or are you able to deliver this to them? Do you have that kind of contact? This is... Trust me, once they get their hands on this, any sins will be forgiven on your part.
You can call a courier over.
Yeah, that would be best.
All right. That's sounds good then. I will be sure to hold on. If you would like to wait here until I grab that courier, that's on you. If not, then you can hand it off to me. And
Well, look
Does
at
this-
Valtos.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I trust this guy? Is he
Yeah,
sounding trustworthy?
do you want to
give me the necessary check.
Why are you looking at me to think if he's trustworthy? Hold on a
No,
second.
no, I'm looking at you sort of like, I trust your counsel. Are you thinking we should be waiting or not? This sort of.
I think you should hand deliver this and make sure they know to get the Leon in and on it.
I'm just gonna trust that as Kant. I'm gonna say like you canted that to me.
Yep.
And
Take Zelkos with you if you do go.
I'm gonna look on second thoughts. Zalkos, you up for a trip? You want to see Akros in all its glory?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, thank you, Harbor Master. But on second thought, I think this is really just something we should deliver ourselves. Time is of the essence.
I see. In order to keep your ship here, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you about a gold at this point. You.
But this is important work we're doing for the city of Akros. Of course, that can be waived for a group such as us.
Yes, but there's also important revenue that goes to the state
I'm
of
just gonna grab
Akros.
Zalkos. I'm gonna grab 4 gold coins from my pocket and just shove this in this guy's hand and just leave. Like, I'm not willing to play this.
He says, okay, well, thank you. Very good. Enjoy your stay.
quickly. And then I'm going to grab Zelkos, like I said, and I'm kind of like dragging you right now. We gotta go. So
I'm faster than you. I'll jog up.
great. You're faster than me?
Move speed 35.
Shit, all right, awesome. Let's go.
I remember this from the chase sequence.
Satyrs are pretty quick.
Oh yeah. All right, Frank. So I know where I'm going, right? Like,
Yeah, this would be a relatively simple task.
all right. So we're beeline there. Is anything? I see anything along the way? What's going on?
No, it is your typical day in Akros. It's like nothing remotely wrong is going on in the fringe part of the kingdom.
Okay. So what? I'm assuming we make it to the academy or high command or whatever. Is there like a receptionist? How does this even work?
You get within within spitting distance of the high command building that you know of, and you are immediately intercepted by hoplites. And they look at you and they say, "State your business,
Hello,
please."
gentlemen.
Seem like you have some type of purpose as you're walking straight in without
I come
any
bearing
issue.
crucial news from General Horace, with some requisitions for supplies as well as information from the front. It is essential that High Command seizes this as soon as possible. You may accompany me, but I must hand deliver this.
They say one of them says, well, the majority of high command's not in right now, but I believe." He kind of like looks in. "I believe I see General names. I believe I see General Volk. Just gonna fuck note that. General Volk's helmet on the wall there, so I'm assuming he's probably in his office.
So,
We'll
yeah.
escort him there if you would not mind."
Yeah, please, as you wish. This is my friend and confidant, Zelkos. He will be coming as well.
If that's required.
It is.
Okay. And he leads you over to this office. It's rather simple looking. There's not really a lot on the walls or anything. Very militant.
Spartan, if you will.
perhaps.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna change my cloak to the colors of the house badger as we're walking in.
Very nice.
Touched. The hoplite knocks on like the wall or the door frame, and says, "General Volk, you have a visitor, bearing word from General Horace in the field." And he says, "Send them in, send them in." And you walk in, and behind this desk, there is a very, very, very old man. This man looks to be grayed for many a year. Eyes drooping, just your general old individual.
Girl?
He kind of like gives a salute. What do we have here?
General.
That old pompous fool Horace getting over his head?
General, if this is to be believed, which I can vouch for, it's the truth of it myself. All of us might be in over our heads, and I'm gonna hand over the orders and give him the situation report.
After a long period of time of him focusing his eyes and everything, he reads through the report, and he just kind of falls into his chair and says, That glory hound would never write such a... Well, he would never embarrass himself with anything like this if he could avoid it. Uh, I I will put everyone on high alert. That being said, I do not believe we need to reach out to those. He like looks out the window. Those Leonin to the east. I believe we'll be fine.
I'm laughing.
He kind of like looks at you.
General, every damn Minotaur in the canyon is going to show up at our doorstep. If there's even a 5% chance that the Leonin will help us, this is the time to throw pride aside.
I think it'll be closer to a 2% chance that they'll help us, but
If it stops the fall of Akros,
look, he sees House Badger insignia on Zelkos. uh, on Zelkos, and he says, "If look, I clearly know you have some form of military expertise. After all, you seem like you're representatives of House Badger and Lord Canathos, to be sure. Uh, and let me just say, you all should be very well aware of what happened the last time the their king reached out to us. Yes."
yes.
I just opened my mouth and shut it when he said yes.
Uh, give me.
History.
Oh, say. Sorry, I'll let you know I was talking a bit fast. What? How'd you respond?
History? I don't. Do I know this, Frank?
Yes,
Okay.
you'll know this because you know about Akros because you were in the military. Uh, yeah. So, little while, like when you in your youth, uh, there was an emissary that came from Oreskos to essentially seek audience with the king of Akros, and the king of Akros just kind of laughed the emissary off and did not meet with them. And the Leonin of Oreskos have been not really on the best of terms with Akros since then. So
Right.
this is a good like 30-year long feud at this point.
Price of a single messenger, Volk. We have to. It's a dangerous job. There's a good chance they won't help, but we can leave no stone unturned. That is the scale of what we face.
I don't. I will be honest with you. I do not believe anyone short of a high-ranking military officer delivering this message to the to Oreskos will get them to assist us.
Well,
And I, for one, will not be making that trip. Look at me.
yeah, no, you will probably not.
I should have retired years ago, but let me tell you, when you're in, the benefits are very, very good.
I know, Volk. Look, I'm no longer in the service. More regrets, more's the pity. But I'm going to leave this with you. I trust you to take the appropriate steps as outlined by Horace. The Oreskos thing I leave to your judgment. But trust me when I say this is bigger than all of us.
Uh, yes, I'll put everyone on high alert here. I can reach out to I it I will reach out to others to be sure. Oreskos might be a pipe dream, but
Yes,
Asphodel and Ordonos might be able to lend us some assistance.
interesting. I sort of look to Zelkos and just like quick eye contact, see if he's reacting, and say, "All right, that sounds good."
I'm just nodding.
All right. Well, thank you, General. Please appreciate you taking your time for this, and trust me, this this is going to be the fight of our lives, and
Uh,
we're
as
gonna.
as you go to leave, he says, "Yes, thank you for bringing this to my attention, and please give my regards to Lord Canathos when you next see him. I'm sure he's enjoying his retirement.
Only you do, General.
I-
Only you do.
I'm chuckling.
And the
Give him a
hop
salute and walk out.
waiting outside the door, and he's like, "I'll escort you out now."
Yes, thank you. Let's go.
I look to Kansas and go, Lord.
We're gonna be Lord of Nothing if this guy gets his way.
Just chuckling as we're walking.
All right, so we're gonna make it back to the boat. Has anything transpired? Well, on the boat.
Not unless people on the boat decided to make trouble.
Didn't make trouble.
Make trouble.
You're gonna make trouble?
I didn't do anything, no.
Okay. So
Alright.
when you guys come back to the boat, you just kind of see the harbor master kind of like leaning up against the boat up in the docks. He's just very clearly talking everyone's ear off, and I imagine everyone on the boat's just kind of paying him no mind. He's like, "Yeah, so I fought off a bunch of minotaurs back in my youth, and I got hurt. I pulled my tendon. I pulled my Haktos tendon, and let me tell you, I had to. They reassigned me out here to harbor detail. It's pretty. It's a necessary job, but let me just say, I really wish I can get back out there on the front. I put another minotaur head up on my wall so my kids could see what their old pop is up to."
Oh, yeah?
I'm coming back during this.
My Haktos tendon and all, oof. It hurts when I walk too much.
Yeah, my Haktos hurts a bit too. Yeah.
So are we still being escorted?
No, when you get outside.
Yeah, so I'm a step behind Canathos, or 2 steps behind Canathos, just out of his vision, but you hear me walking behind you. You all see 2 Canathoses walking towards the ship. One of them is like head raised very high and acting very like regal.
I
I have no idea what's going on.
Correct.
realized instantly that is Zelko.
So I'm gonna keep walking, and I see this guy.
Oh, wait. I turned into a 4-foot-tall version of that and start moving him and walking towards you guys.
As you walk by the harbor master, he says, "Oh, okay. I guess our conversation. All right. Yeah. I see a ship coming in." And he kind of like shuffles away.
So as we get closer to Acreus, Canathos, you hear from behind you in your own voice, Lord Canathos, good to see you, Lord Canathos.
Lord Canathos. Hello, Lord Canathos.
Looking behind me, I see me. Looking in front of me, I see me. It's like,
Lord Canathos, I salute.
I mimic whatever he does.
instinctively salute.
And I chuckle and get rid of the illusion and walk back on board.
What's going on?
Well, we delivered the message. Let's make for Miletus, yeah? I gotta...
What happened? What?
We were given, and I turn into General Volk, and I talk in his voice. We were told that we were just happy and proud to be servants of Lord Canathos, and that those Leonin wouldn't help us, but certainly will maybe probably not try. But oh yeah, I'll ask for help. So and I switch back to myself, and yeah, their general didn't seem to be very helpful or listening, but he's gonna ask. He is, but he's not gonna go himself, and he thinks if you don't send a general, it's probably not gonna do too much.
Alright, well, let's put our beans together here. How do we try to figure out who let loose this Archon?
Let's head to Miletus for the meeting with Ugo first, yeah?
And then probably straight back to Odunos.
You guys have on the boat too, so this is a.
Oh, yeah, we can just do the Odunos thing. Alright, so hope you guys got your sea legs. Try not to look a little green when I say that.
I turn into an octopus.
Puddles, what kind of creature is that?
A 8-legged octopus.
You give me a little wave.
swim, my friend, and I'll pick you up and start walking to the water. I'm waiting for Poggle.
As he picked me up, I transformed back into a giant turtle and sit on him.
Drop you instantly as soon as you start transforming back.
I don't think you have time.
To notice a creature shape-shifting in my hand.
I feel like you would carry and move your head.
Oh!
All right, so you guys.
Frank, what time is it right now?
Oh, it's late. I imagine.
Yeah, it's like evening night, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is we're getting pretty late. You can sail through the night, obviously, but
Yeah.
don't really.
We are in a hurry, but
What do you think we should do? Lettuce to Lenadunos, but
I don't like the idea of them not getting the Leonin actually involved, but I don't know what we can do about it.
I mean, I don't know. Short of me going myself, and I can't guarantee I would have any better results. Besides,
Sailing for Meletus.
we know Adunos is, as Zelko's very wisely pointed out. I think our contribution here is getting to the core. We're the best suited to collect information from the other teams if we can, and try to figure out what's going on here.
Alright, Frank, we're sailing for Meletus.
Good night.
Good night.
And
Go hang out in the crow's nest, by the way. But keep going.
I'll prep an unseen servant and have it cook some meals, and then I'm gonna, in the meantime, practice some of my various roles, like the Oracle of Heliod, Oracle of Aetherios, General Horus, pre and post injury, Ugo, Karsten, just kind of get them all practiced.
I am going to sending to Ugo to let him know we will meet him in Miletus. And then I am going to sending my wife and tell her war appears to be on the horizon. Spare no expense and take any and all steps to ensure safety of yourself and our staff. If abandonment of estate is necessary, do not hesitate.
I feel like there's more than 24 words, whatever it is.
Can I just send two? I think I have unlimited cast of it, so I don't.
No,
It's
that's
however many are you needed. She responds back with, "Everything else okay? This seems very serious."
Encountered Archon was truly terrible. Fear for survival of Akros. Did Ugo send anything back?
No.
Okay.
You get a response back. It just says, "Okay, I'll let everyone know and keep everyone on high alert. If we have to go south, we'll go south to the." She says, "If we have to go to the Oracle Temple, we'll go to the Oracle Temple."
Yep. And I'll just say, please be safe.
She says, "You too," and that's close that.
Yep. So we're sailing through the night. What's our progress looking like, Frank?
You'll get there by morning,
Oh, okay.
generally. Pretty, like, not early morning, but probably like by 9-ish, maybe 10-ish.
And we didn't take a rest, right? Like we're just going.
Who's manning the boat?
I'm manning the boat.
Yeah.
He's not taking a rest.
Yeah, we took a long rest in the fucking fortress.
Maybe he's okay with it. 'Cause he got that sick Porton.
I did.
That's true. The 20 important.
Yeah, the rest of you are free to rest, but you didn't really do any or spend anything. So
Yeah, right.
avoid exhaustion and whatnot.
Cool. Okay.
We rested a few hours ago, so I don't think I need to.
Yeah. Like,
But when you get to morning, you see the familiar. You see the familiar spires of Miletus. You see the two colossuses that kind of flank the entrance to Miletus Harbor, and you can tell you're back in civilization. Or what Miletus would have you believe is civilization.
all right. So are we gonna try to?
We're
Well,
gonna
yeah.
dock,
I'm
go
gonna wake
find
up, look to
Ugo.
Valtos. Are we everything
Where's-
all right?
Everything's good. Where are we meeting Ugo?
That's a great question. Did he respond, Frank, when I said we're coming to
Why
Miletus
don't we
to
just
meet you?
go to his job at the temple?
Yeah, let me check the box, see if he sent us anything.
He has not.
All right. Looks like we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Head to the temple and ask for him. I imagine there may be some kind of, not if not ceremony, but incident because the other teams are returning as well. Those that return, that is.
So yeah, when you bring the ship in and disembark, pretty familiar scene for some of you, actually for pretty much all of you. It's somewhat a similar scene to the Akroan army that you saw up north. You see a bunch of what looks like teams. You can definitely make out some people you saw in that crowd initially that are here. Beaten, battered, etc. Not really doing too well. They're not really looking too hot.
Do I see Flaming Sword Man?
Give me a perception. Just give me that.
Can I just take 10, 16?
You don't see him.
No. Sad.
And you do not see any people affiliated with, or that were standing next to him either.
Like part of his team, yeah.
Okay. I don't particularly find that suspicious because I just assume he's missing, like, for the moment.
Yep. So yeah, you pretty much see this. I'm sorry, I just have to re-log back into this. For some reason, it logged me out of D&D Beyond. So yeah, you see this, and it's basically a similar sight. People kind of looking weary and dreary. You over while you're, I assume you're going to the Temple of Thassa, where you believe
Mhm.
you'd best find Ugo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as you're walking, you kind of can glean from the other parties and the other people who are just kind of lining the streets. You hear whispers and people saying, like, just talking under the breath, saying, "Yeah, I hear this here. I hear the trials are cursed. A number of those teams, they just didn't come back. They must not have had the god's favor." And, various people and groups discussing really what sounds almost like catastrophic results from this year's trials.
Yeah, okay. I'm sort of trying to listen, but mostly worried about, like, making the way through the crowd to get to the temple. Also, a little bit concerned that Ugo hasn't. I said, it's kind of unusual that Ugo hasn't responded.
Maybe he's preparing something?
Yeah, I didn't really ask him a question either. Just sort of told him we were coming.
Well, you know where best to find the Temple of Thassa, as it's the second most ornate temple here. And yeah, it's relatively easy to find. So besides hearing various whispers and such from people in the streets talking about the relative failings or strange happenings relating to the trials, you really don't have any issue getting here.
Okay, so we're just sort of making our way there.
Unless you wish to do otherwise, but
We should. Well, I'm gonna turn to everyone, and do you guys think we should still look for Ugo first?
I think we should find Ugo.
Okay. All right, so
What's
I'm
the-
gonna.
Know something we don't know, or says some information for us.
Yeah, at the very least, we might be able to get it down low on the other teams. I'm a little shaken seeing how they seem to have fared. So Frank, I'm gonna walk up. We're all in the Thassa Temple, I think.
okay.
Is there like a desk out front, or how does this work?
Yeah, so as you get closer, you see. As you get closer, now knowing that, and knowing what you know about the Temple of Thassa here, it's bustling. You have a large number of priests, and you have a large number of priestesses, all just kind of walking about the temple grounds and conversing, their intermittent prayer and the like. And it's very. It seems like it's like this doesn't really seem like the type of place that Ugo would work, judging by his demeanor, and judging by how generally happy and outgoing everyone seems to be here.
I'm just yell Ugo really loud to hear if I hear a response.
You, besides people like looking at you quizzically, you don't really get. Nobody really responds. In fact,
Uh-oh.
after you do this for a number of minutes,
After the first shout, I'd be like, Acris, you know you gotta keep it on the down low when we're in towns.
Not up or down low. What's the problem?
Uh, your appearance?
No one knows anything about me.
All right.
And I'll yell one more time in hopes of somehow getting a response or hearing footsteps or something. Is he around, Frank? Yes or no?
no. As you actually keep yelling, someone comes up to you. A temple attendant comes up to you and kind of like says, "Oh, is there something I can help you with? You all
Ugo!
seem to be lost."
Ugo! Where's Ugo!
Yes, hello.
Is your friend okay?
We're looking for a gentleman by the name of Ugo. He's our coordinator for the trials, the Nixine trials.
That name doesn't sound terribly familiar to me. I will go ask around.
He looks like this,
See
and
if-
I'm going to turn into Ugo, and I'll say, and he talks like this, and I'll sort of talk like kind of like Ugo does, and just try to help them understand that this is how Ugo talks.
I also insight check his I don't know who Ugo is. Or like, oh, I've never heard that name.
Yeah, they're not lying to you.
Okay, carry on.
Because also player, or no, go, yeah, go.
Go ahead. So, as you're transforming into Ugo and going about that, you feel a tap on your shoulder, and you see behind you very clearly Ugo.
Oh, Ugo, hello, I say in his own voice. We've been looking for you.
Yes, of course you were. I didn't. I guess this is my fault. I didn't give you any instructions on where to find me. Thank heavens I managed to see your ship in port and figured I would come straight here. Anyway, if you would follow me, we should get down to business.
Certainly.
Well, as I'm following, I'll be like, Ugo, I thought you were a priest of Thassa. Why does no one here know you?
I don't know what you're talking.
What
I
do you
figured that
mean,
that they should know me. I guess I keep my head down in my work a little too much.
Do you have an office here?
Ugo?
Yeah.
You like
Yeah, I
fucking
also
with
want to insight that.
you? Like, me or is he genuinely like, no, they should know me, but I guess I'm nervous and shy and no one knows me, kind of thing.
All right, I'm gonna do some stuff.
Yeah. I feel like grilling this man. I literally insert
Yeah.
every single line.
Because I'm having some high ideas as a player, which I think Zelkos is also having.
Oh, I just assume everyone's a liar, like my character. So I'm just like, I assume no one's being honest.
We all threw up an inside check. None of us are into it.
Yeah.
We're all.
Do any of these have advantage?
I don't think so.
I
Okay.
definitely don't. I don't have an advantage for that.
Oh,
Um,
your inscrutable doesn't help at all, right? For reading other
No,
people.
it's the
Okay.
reverse. It would be doing what Ugo is doing to us.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What Ugo's doing to you?
No, there's
Being
nothing.
sus.
It's hard
Yeah,
to
no.
discern intentions, is what it is.
No, he's pretty. You don't feel like anything's wrong.
I just think he's a nervous, shy, weird person.
Yep.
Weird. Okay, lead on, Ugo.
He as he's walking away from the temple, he says, I think we best step away from the Temple of Thassa. I figure we best can talk about this in a quieter location. After all, things are a little problematic right now.
Frank, I'm
With
behind.
the failures. Go ahead.
I'm behind the. I just sort of like fall back as we take each step further away, and as I'm like behind Poggles and Kenethos, I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts, and then I'll try to read the surface thoughts of Ugo.
Are you detecting thoughts of everyone around you?
I think I have to target a specific. You can focus on your my creature. Yeah, I have to turn. I have to like be like now I'm thinking about this person. Now I'm thinking about this person. Now I'm thinking. Like I have to like as an action shift to either another creature's thoughts or as an action probe deeper in the same mind. So I'm just going for surface thoughts on him, but also I'm also going to use it to see if there's anyone around that we don't see, like if there's any invisible creatures or something.
Sure. I have to read detect thoughts real fast.
Yeah. So first I'll check who's around us, then I'll read Ugo.
Oh, so Ugo knows regardless.
He does not know.
You're gonna probe deeper though. If you probe deeper.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not doing that yet.
Sure.
It's if you probe deeper, then regardless if you succeed or fail, they'll know.
You don't detect anything.
From Ugo?
It's very much kind of like when you try and detect thoughts from Baltos.
Interesting. I note that. Okay, I'm gonna just read through Acreus, Canthos, and Poggles' surface thoughts. What are y'all thinking?
I'm suspicious of Ugo.
Fuck Ugo.
I was initially suspicious, but I usually insight check everyone, and I didn't deem him to be lying, or I thought he was just weird. So I think he's just a weird, awkward guy.
Okay. I'm
I
gonna.
don't think, even though I don't think anything's wrong with him, I don't think he's a member of Thassa.
That I also I mimicked that one because I was like, hey, why does anyone here know you? And he's like, oh, they do, and no one does.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep it up for the full minute, from sort of middle to back of the party, and let Ugo.
I
continue.
go, Ugo, are you trying to kill us? Where are you leading us?
Do you say that out loud?
Because he said, follow me.
He like looks at you and he chuckles. He says, "No. I'm. Why would why would I kill you? That makes no sense. Um, anyway, uh, did anyone ever give you a proper tour of Miletus? We're going to be walking through the temple district in order to get to a local hang around for myself. He kind of like, as you guys are walking, he kind of like gestures to the various temples. This one might be of note for you. That there is the temple of Crufix. He kind of like looks at Voltos and Canthos. I imagine that would be of interest to all of you, or to you two.
I will try and fail to look innocent.
They're walking a bit more. You see a great tree kind of sprouting out of stone structure and with surrounded by pillars. And as you're still keeping pace, he like kind of cranes his neck back a bit and he looks at you, Zelkos. He says, "A temple of Karamitra right there for you if you ever wish to I go get your prayers in or give your devotions in."
Ah, thank you. And I will make it look like I'm now whispering a prayer, but I do this instead.
Oh, you do that? Okay.
I cast Minor Illusion right next to Voltos' ear, volume of a whisper, with my own voice saying I can't read Ugo's thoughts the same way I can't read yours.
Okay.
Wow. Baltos' range of emotions on this should be interesting.
I don't know how L will respond.
I
if
can't
at all.
respond. I will
That's
just
like-
notice.
I guess you can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look at Zelkos and look away.
Okay. And I will continue.
Give me 1 second. So keeps going down. Temple of. As you keep walking, he gestures. He says, "Over here is the temple to Phaenax," and he looks over at Acreus and says, "That might be a bit that might be of interest to you, yes." And then you see a snake head, and he says, and then there would be the temple to for Rika, for our stoic individual in the back, yes.
Ugo, is there a temple to Bokris here?
Yes, but it's relatively barren.
I just wanted to know. Where is it about?
It's coming up ahead, actually. It's the twin temple over here. It's devoted to Mogus and Erois.
Okay, thank you.
And Ugo, where are we going?
Oh, a local little hang around that I frequent over here. Some might call it a tavern. And as you keep going, you kind of veer off the path of the temples, and he kind of like takes you down a little alleyway, and he's like, just right down here. And leads you into a small little shop.
I'm on the world map, by the way. I don't know if I messed up.
Oh no, you're still there.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna look out for any sort of traps or people watching us or like ambushes. Like I am very on edge right now.
I'm coming in last. I'm casting detect magic before I come inside.
Yeah, you got a bit of magic in here.
What we got, Frank? Give me some outlines.
The doorway.
What kind of magic?
I believe this one is supposed to be. Uh, divination.
Okay.
Yes, it's divination.
Walking inside then.
And another doorway that you can make out.
Also divination.
No, this one's illusion.
Oh.
Except it's not a doorway, it's a wall.
Oh. It's a fake doorway.
And that's what you see.
So it's a fake doorway or is it a fake wall?
It's a fake wall.
Okay. Walking inside.
Do I notice
Ugo's
anything
not
with
magical.
my perusal around? Also, what else said?
What did I say? I didn't hear.
Is Ugo magical at all or no?
Yes.
Okay.
You see something using your detect magic, you can see something in on Ugo's person.
What's
That
it look
is
like?
kind of like weirdly like oval and then U-shaped at the top.
Okay.
Also, you can see the cube.
Yep.
Uh,
Plus all of our garbage, obviously.
yes. So, Ugo kind of like gestures over to a table and he sits down. And he kind of like motions over to the barkeep and he says, a round of drinks for everyone, and I'll have a water, please.
We'll look at Ugo.
I'll have a water as well.
Oh, you also do not partake in the drink.
Libations.
I do not.
I would expect it as such. Anyway, let's get down to business here.
I defeat them.
As you have probably seen, there. What'd you say?
To defeat the Huns.
Oh, as you have probably noticed, the various teams have started returning back, and it's not a good scene. There's a lot of failure, to say the least, and
Ugo, by failure, do you mean they failed their task or they died?
some of column A, a lot of column B.
Okay, go on.
So he kind of says, the trials have been sabotaged. Or at least I'm certain of that. This has never happened before. And I should hope it will never happen again.
Ugo, how long have you been curating the trials?
I've been curating for quite some time now. I acted as a page when I was a lad, and I continued on to my priestly duties.
Okay.
What do you think happened, Ugo? Why is it so strange this year?
I couldn't tell you, but from popular talk around the temple, it seems as if people tend to, or rather the oracles tend to not be able to speak to the gods anymore, which has been kept on the down low, but I figure, judging by your time out in the world, you might have been able to figure out that yourself. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of sit back in my chair and look to the party. I'm feeling like a little bit disturbed by Ugo, so I'm not really engaging the conversation much.
And I said correct, Hugo.
So, This is Poggle speaking. Poggles has been drinking already. He already downed a few shots when he came in. Tell me about your time as a priest.
I
When did you join the Temple of Thassa? How long have you been there? I'm curious.
uh he kind of he looks at you and says, as I said, I started as a boy. I was a page for one of the local priests and oracles, and I moved up. I've been there. Oh, how old am I now? I've been there for 40 some odd years now.
Mm-hmm. And in the middle of the conversation, as Ugo's speaking, I look over at Zelkost and cast that on his drink and all of our drinks.
Can people see that?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He looks at you and he says, I'm sorry, is there something wrong with your drink?
No. Not anymore.
Okay, I about to escalate. I'm like, so Ugo,
Did the
does
hold on?
it-
Did the drink look like visibly different at all after you cast
No.
that? Okay.
It's curious though on how that would actually work on alcohol, technically.
Yeah, I actually am too. How would that work?
I think it
I
would be
don't
purified
consider
to
it a
to be the intent of like what the drink is supposed to be, and like what you as the caster and
Wait, so if I'm
the
intending
customer.
to drink poison and I purify food and drink, it's still poison?
I want to see what Poggles
I don't
was
know.
Yeah,
going with
keep
this,
going, keep
though.
going, sorry.
So you've been there for a long time, Ugo. Not to distract you from me just cleaning some drinks. Don't know where this has been. Just why it was just weird not seeing that people recognized you there.
Like I said, I usually stay very close to my work, and I rarely associate with my work compatriots.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool. I was just curious. What do you think Thassa has to say about everything? Because when we went to see Thassa's temple, we were a little worried that the Triton were just taken over.
I imagine that I haven't spoken with her. That's not my it's not my field. I'm not an oracle, but I'm assuming that Thassa's feeling better now, knowing that you dispatched those wretched defilers of her sacred temple.
Right. Right. Ugo, will you do a shot with me?
I'm sorry, I don't indulge.
That's okay. It's all good.
Ugo, do you have a family name by any chance?
No, I was born to the temple. I was given up as a child, which is why I've been there for quite some time.
I see. I mean, you work a lot with records. Have you read or heard of the Xanthos family at all?
That would be a famous family of Ordonos, I believe. Is
Anything?
there any
Why are,
reason?
why are they famous? It came up in our travels. I was curious if we could learn more from a learned individual such as yourself.
They're like I said, a famous. Aren't I supposed to be asking the questions here and filling you all in?
Yeah, you can just tell us what's been good. What have the other teams returning? What have they been saying? What have their stories been?
That's the general problem. Nothing good. Uh, Actually, the Santos family is one of renown. They've produced many a general and many a leader of Ordonos, so it's quite unsurprising that you've heard of them. They also are known to be one of the few families within the city that actively work with the Risen and are in good standing with them. Uh, but back to the trials. Uh, Individuals have been coming back, and they've been both either dead or failed their trials. There's actually been one instance, particularly sad one, where a Hydra got the best of individuals over at a temple out in Satessa.
Right.
He kind of like looks around, picks up his drink, and has a bit of water.
You brought us this secluded place to tell us something. What is it? Surely that can't be it.
I do not trust the people over at the Thassa Temple.
Why?
I think there is some type of mole in the works of in the ranks of the oracles. Someone is orchestrating something behind the scenes here and trying to
Just
trying to
sabotage the games?
yeah yes, I believe so.
Do you think this is linked to why the oracles no longer have a connection to their respective gods?
I believe so, yes.
It's technically the wrong way to phrase it. They can still talk to the gods. The gods just can't talk to them.
UL? So do you have... I'm assuming you brought us here because you want us to figure out what's going on. Is that correct, Ugo?
Yes, I would like that.
Do you have any helpful information, or are you just going to kick us out and say solve this?
Ugo, how about this? We'll go into the back, and you can tell us what you really want us to do, alright? And I get up and I walk through the...
Okay.
I'm gonna follow our wizard.
Okay. Give me 1 second to get it all set up.
This should be good.
Oh, I have to add this token.
Uh-oh.
Combat.
No.
What is if we want it to be combat? We could just stab Ugo right now.
It's always combat.
I recommend not stabbing Ugo.
Pretty sure Ugo could kill us.
If he could kill us, he might have. He would just solve this, wouldn't he? If he's that powerful.
His hands might be tied.
Damn, token's not good. Okay, let's try this now.
We're still on the big map.
Yeah, I'll be moving you in a second.
Yeah, player, y'all, I've been thinking so much about the fact that, like, he just came, like, running with the scroll and the book, right? Like, for all we know, so he just could have, like, randomly written random stuff down on this piece of paper, and it never went through oracles.
For sure.
Or did the oracles read out our task for us? I can't remember.
No, I don't think so. I think it was just like you said. Like there was the opening ceremony, and then he gave us our specific task.
We also never talked to anyone other than Ugo.
Yeah.
The god introduced our team though and said Ugo was our leader, correct?
No.
Going
The
through
gods talked to us. They didn't talk to us about Ugo, I don't think.
Well, the test, like this is this team, this is that team, and like the gods were announced.
Oracles were calling those. Like oracles were introducing the teams, I think.
Yeah, and who? But someone did originally direct us to Ugo because we were all told, Ugo's your contact. He's near the harbor. He's looking dry compared to the
We got a
others.
letter.
We got a
saying Ugo.
letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyone could have sent that.
So now the grand conspiracy is going to come together.
But
Oh.
I don't see anything we did that would be objectively bad. Like a nefarious person would have us do, like, figure out what's going on in Death Bell Canyon.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not
Okay.
like you're doing this. Go ahead.
So here's how this works. Who gets up and starts walking through? It's Voltos.
I'll win first.
Once
so.
he clears that, I would get out of my chair and begin following him.
As Voltos gets up and starts walking away, Ugo kind of turns and says, "Where do you think you're going?"
Into the back.
Please see. Give me a
Wisdom save.
wisdom save.
Who's giving a wisdom save?
You need to get a save.
If
Wisdom
it's
save?
charm, keep in mind. I think he's immune, right?
I'm immune.
I think he's immune to mine.
Are you immune to command?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, then this is fine. You're
Carry on. L is my
I would
foil.
have seen him do this, right? As well. Ugo, how about you cut to the chase and just explain to us what's going on here, all right?
he kind of like lets out a sigh and he isn't there anymore.
What? No counterspell?
Do you go into the room?
Yeah. Well, L was it. I'm not.
Hey, we're gonna go into the room. Let's go.
I'm gonna like it looks like he might have turned invisible. I'm gonna try to like listen and feel around for a potentially invisible person.
You open the door or go through the wall. That's what you see, Baltos.
Frank, I see the whole map.
Okay.
Yep.
Wait, where am I? Oh, there I'm down.
South side.
You can see the entire map.
Oh no, these are oh shit.
To move all of you in, but until you guys actually set foot in, you're not in the door.
Yep.
Yeah, I need control of my dog.
As L walks through the wall,
Same.
but I'm not gonna go with him.
Oh, so y'all have one good berry each, as usual,
Yes, sir.
including the monkey.
9.
Hold on a
9,
second.
my purple royal monkey.
Tell me who has control over their toe.
I do not.
I do not.
I do not. I don't think any of us do.
I do.
Go Poggles.
Fuck.
Poggles has it.
Okay, I gotta readjust then.
Keep in mind the squares will be weird.
They're actually pretty okay on this one.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Are they?
Yeah, look at me.
You should all have
No,
control.
those
now.
aren't the squares.
What?
That's a square.
No,
That's a
L,
square.
L, you're mistaking the tiles on the floor for squares.
They're big tiles.
Big
There's
tiles. Okay.
lattice on the screen now, a silver lattice that I'm in between on every single move.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to refresh.
You're okay. The tiles are different from the squares. The squares I spent a lot of time trying to get this map lined up properly, and it actually kind of
I'll tell you.
so I'm happy with it. Yeah, so you should all have control of your characters.
Oh, I'm behind somewhere.
So when you walk through that invisible wall, you kind of see this. And you hear, like, chanting.
Do any of us recognize the chanting rhythm or anything like that, or like that?
Well, you can all give me knowledge, religion, history, etc. if you wish, as you
I
walk
mean,
in.
all the dudes chanting are wearing gold death masks, so
I'm a religion ace. Hold up. I rolled a 10.
I am not a religion.
What are you rolling? History or religion?
History or religion, whichever you're better at.
Yeah, to save us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just only making my way into the doorway now.
Help the chanting, so you'll be able to hear it. Oh,
my
god.
God.
13 I think is our highest.
We got two
Those
13s.
look like... This looks
Return.
like a temple, and those look like... They look like risen, because they're wearing the gold
I
masks, but...
Can I understand what they're saying because of my hat?
Yes.
Do I recognize them as redeemed? Like, because I would know if they're redeemed or whatever, return?
You actually recognize them for something else. They don't look like returned or risen of any kind. They actually are... They look living, and you've seen people wearing these gold masks before. You in particular have. And Poggles, you can tell that they are worshipping Phaenax. You can tell that they are saying things in devotion to Phaenax.
Alright.
Do I recognize that at all? I recognize them as Phoenix worshippers.
Yes.
I'll go to the group and say, guys, they're Phoenix worshippers. Give me 1 second.
Alright.
Start. Oh, they're not all together. All the people in groups of twos are chanting, you're saying?
Yes.
I'm gonna say Ugo. And keep walking and looking at both of them and saying Ugo. And kind of looking at both of them and seeing if anyone turns as I walk forward.
No one's turning. They still just keep doing their thing.
I'll move up to like wherever. What is this, a throne or something?
It's like the center. The ping. This here is like the center platform, where
To
if
it.
there were to be a like,
Up to it, stand on it, and if nothing says or
yeah, they
happens,
stop
to me,
chanting as soon as you step on it.
Okay. I look at them and go, "Hello, friends. I am also a worshiper of Phoenix, and I do my disguise self trait thing that I get from being a worshiper of Phoenix to look like one of these redeemed, like a 4 for 12 version, or whatever these are, like the people in that."
Sure. What are the rest of you doing?
Watching the show.
Yep.
Carefully.
Okay.
I'm gonna, if like, I'm gonna turn into one of these folks.
Got it. So, you kind of like hear coming from all around you. Well, why don't you entered? Why don't you come on in?
Okay. I look around.
And he says, "Come on, just come on in."
I'm
We're all
assuming
inside.
that's to you guys. I'm assuming so.
What happened to your stutter, Ugo?
Uh,
Or should I
So-
say Phoenix?
No, I could only wish to be like that. Uh, so he kind of like says, "How about you take a step off the platform?
Okay, I'll step
That's
that aside.
that's my spot."
I'll move over here.
And then from this side, you see a big masked man come walking out, wearing an kind of like a oval with a U mask. Wink.
An oval with a U?
It's what El saw.
Yeah, the same as his magic item that he had.
Kind of like walks here and then walks up to the platform.
All right.
I tell Ugo, I worship Phoenix. Why wouldn't you just be honest with us off the bat?
He basically was like, "Yeah, I figured you guys would pick up on that." I figured you'd pick up on the fact that I don't know, at the very least one of you would pick up on the fact that I was lying to you when I made a slip up accidentally. But yeah, I don't know who I'm allowed to trust or who I can trust. So I'm either A, going to have to deal with all of you now, or B, I'm going to leave here trusting all of you. So we're going to figure that one out together.
Who
Okay.
are you? Are you Ugo?
I am Ugo. That is my name. That is my name. I did not lie about that. I only really tell half truths and half lies, to be fair. So I am Ugo. I also do work for a temple, not the Temple of Thassa. I work for, or rather, I am devoted to Phaenax. And I'm not really a page, but rather I am his chief oracle in Meletus.
I'm like Neil. I feel like that's ceremonious, but I don't actually know if I'm supposed to do that. So I do it.
Kind of like, as you go to Neil, he's like, that's not necessary.
Who are those guys? And I'll point to the people surrounding the room.
Those are the most devoted individuals to Phaenax here in Meletus. And by the most devoted, I mean the ones we don't pay to keep up the fake temple that we have.
Okay, I see what's going on here. Well, so what's really going on with the oracles and the odds, Ugo?
I do not know.
What about the trials? What's the deal with the trial? Why would you take this role?
Well, generally put, what do you all know about the general pantheon, besides what you've been told about the general pantheon?
I know nothing.
I mean,
It kind of like looks at you. That's apt, really.
we were told that their communication was somehow blocked and that we needed to help.
No, but like the general pantheon, not so much the how they work and how they interact with us, but do you believe it to be all well and good and everyone's happy and everyone's working towards the same goal and everything? He like looks at Actors.
No, they're constantly
he
in
very
struggle.
clearly knows that it's not the case. Right, and what happens when somebody gets ahead is that's the general question here. When one god pulls ahead, then the others fall behind, and when one falls behind and the others get too powerful, then there's struggle and issue, and it's very strange, but we kind of have to try and keep somewhat of a balance. And he kind of like looks back towards Voltos and Canathos. You devotees to Crufix must know something about that, keeping a balance in order to make sure the status quo is somewhat kept, yes?
Yes. No, that's right.
I understand the concept.
Right, and that's really what I'm setting out to do. Many individuals consider Phaenax to actually go against the status quo, which, truth be told, yes, but also it is in his weird best interest to keep things as the status quo so that he can continue going about his own machinations and such. And this one's a bit weird because this one, the issue that's come about before us is distinctly his doing.
What is distinctly Phoenix is doing?
What's happening around us right now?
What exactly did he do?
So the reason why I can't trust the oracles is because someone, one of the oracles presumably, made a deal with Phaenax and, well, essentially one-upped him, which is hard to do, but we're kind of living with it now.
Wait, so they outmaneuvered Phoenix in a bargain, and that's why we're in this situation?
I believe that to be the case, yes.
What makes you think this to be so?
Well, to say that everything that's going on has a distinct Phaenax feel to it is, to say that it's... The last thing that Phaenax said to all of his oracles was simply, fix my mistake. And that's really what's, making me believe that. Outside of that, the ability to, well, somewhat stay invisible and stay out of the eyes of both the oracles as well as the gods, as well as disrupt any communication, is distinctly a gift that Phaenax would be able to bestow on someone.
What exactly is that gift?
Disruption, deception.
Do you know the specifics of the bargain Phaenax made?
No. No, I don't. That being said, there's been... The gods can still talk to us. It's just in a general trickle of information. Rather than coming down with the tidal force of Thassa, it's just kind of a little stream of knowledge or wisdom parted by them. What I've been able to divine from my communications with Phaenax is simple. Phaenax gave an individual the capability to essentially stifle any connection us oracles have with our various pantheons, or our various gods, and furthermore be invisible to, well, the gods as a whole, their divine omnipotence, which, I mean, if a god can't see you, and a god can't direct people in order to find you, then that pretty much means that you can do whatever you want here. And that's a very dangerous concept.
So how has he blocked all god communication to people?
Well, that's the weird part, because Phaenax would never do that to himself, because that would just that would enable him to also be on the same playing field as everyone else, and that's not really our MO. Which is why I believe Phaenax was one-upped somehow. So there's no way that someone, or that Phaenax would give this ability to anyone without some type of failsafe. So I firmly believe that whoever is responsible for what's going on is someone who got the best of, or who got better of Phaenax, which is a scary thought to me, and should probably be to you.
Do we have knowledge of the specific perpetrator? Like, how can we reverse this?
I do not know.
Also,
I think... What?
You go, Alex. I'll go second.
Also, how do we know when followers of Phaenax are on the side of Phaenax or the side of this now extra powerful Oracle. When we were on our first task, we ran into some followers of Phaenax and stopped them from what they were attempting to do, but now I'm curious if that was your faction or a different faction.
Well, Phaenax Phaenax worshippers come in all proverbial shapes and sizes, as well as ambitions, right? Your petty thief, from your petty thief to your richest merchant, they all generally kind of pay heed and pay homage to Phaenax in some way. It's the more malicious types that I think you would have to be worrisome of. Generally, the upper crust individuals who have achieved their station because of their devotions. Uh, those would be the ones who I imagine would hold enough ambition to actually want to perpetrate something like this.
Actually try to usurp him.
Yes, as you may or may not know, Phaenax is the first god, or the first mortal to have ascended to godhood. And much like, well, I guess much like all of us, deep down inside, wanting to also achieve the same reach that he has, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if an ambitious few were attempting to make a power play for the Pantheon, or rather for his seat or any other at that.
So, new development, Mr. Ugo. I ran into an Archon who is godless. He has no allegiance. In fact, he dislikes the entire pantheon of gods and is striking out to conquer the land. What do you make of that?
That sounds impossible. But I believe that if you've seen it... Wait, what?
I'm going to shoot my brand and say, it's certainly possible. This is the only way I got out with my life.
And I'm going to make a minor illusion of what I did before and be like, and this is what they looked like. Their name was
Drazoth the
Drazoth the Ashen. Yep. And that's Tartar the Bull.
I like how you remember the bull's name, but you don't
I have it
remember his
written
name.
down in an easier spot to read.
That's fair. He kind of looks at you and says, "That's not good. I believe you now, having seen him, and kind of does the same thing the general did, and he kind of like walks around the image. Any Archon devoted to any god would have some form of heraldry for them, so I believe you, considering how the only remaining Archons are well devoted to either Heliod or Athreos, or any of them that are bound up.
What remaining Archons?
There are still Archons in service to the gods, they just are bound to Nyx and only released when necessary.
Who is this
Where are
Drazenov
they?
fellow? Do you
Where are they
recognize
bound,
him?
by the way?
They're bound to Nyx, except
Yes,
for
yes. Where?
that would be Nyx being the seat of the Pantheon. They're out of reach for typical mortals.
Okay.
Is it possible this entity released to this Archon?
Well, if that entity managed to journey to Nyx and managed to release an Archon from its imprisonment, then I think we have a whole lot more in the way of... I think we have a whole lot more troubles in front of us than just a lowly Archon. We could very easily have some... Nyxian army of some kind that they can pull together, especially if they were able to contest Nyx without any of the gods interfering. That would be a big issue.
What
They
is
wouldn't be able to interfere because they can't see them.
He kind of like points a finger at you and says, "That's probably the issue here."
Go ahead,
does
Tanner.
Drazenov mean anything to you? This name? He seemed pretty simple.
I don't know the name, but it would not be uncommon for an Archon to be not so much simple-minded, but have suffer from tunnel vision. They used to be conquerors and warlords of Theros, so it wouldn't be terribly surprising if they essentially had a one-track mind on conquest, bringing people under their dominion, expanding, and just kind of going about that. It's not really that would not be terribly surprising, in all
Yeah.
honesty.
Being that the gods can't even find, and we are somehow supposed to find him? I don't know what you want us to do, Ogo. It doesn't really make... How can we help you? The gods can't even identify where the thing is.
That's the problem.
Here's a question for you, Hugo.
Yes.
Who, if the oracles were having so much trouble communicating with the gods, who wrote these tasks?
That's the problem. In order to keep up some form of facade that we still have some kind of control over the situation, we wrote them.
Were they random, or is there some significance? Because we're running around thinking we have all this useful information, but
there was significance to this, at least to my challenges anyway. I knew from my individuals that I have planted in the various temples that the tasks I gifted you were of some suspect, such as those merfolk that weren't blessing the Isle in the name of Thassa. That was never heard of. It's completely unheard of. They were born of Thassa. It does not make any sense for merfolk to even remotely, or rather not merfolk, Tritons to even remotely question Thassa's will, rule, etc. It's not
Right.
in their nature. It's not something they're capable of.
so we did have we met a Cyclops there who was guarding one of these statues that seemed to have this charming effect and mutating effect on the Tritons. That Cyclops, after being charmed by us, mentioned that Xanthos had ordered them to guard there. Is that a lead, or is that a coincidence?
Is
based on
that
what
why
you
you
know?
brought that name up before?
Correct.
I would say that to say that is a lead would be a stretch, but that being said, House Xanthos is the most prominent family of Odonos. So if any family were to have any idea what could be going on across Theros, that could be one of them. Their influence is far-reaching, and it wouldn't be terribly surprising, in all honesty, considering how they do have a split worship between Athreos and Phaenax, but they manage that city rather well, and they seem like they're rather content with their place there. After all, it took them centuries to build up the influence they have, and that's across both living and dead members of their family.
Treat him as if he's dangerous.
What?
Should we treat him as if he is dangerous?
I mean, I personally would treat everyone I come across as dangerous or having something to hide, and I anticipate after today you all will as well.
I'm just nodding my head.
Yes, okay. Perhaps we should pay this man or this family a visit.
It's our best lead. And,
One more question, Hugo, if we have a moment. Why do you think it was an oracle that made the bargain?
I honestly don't know anyone else who could have reached out to the gods in such a way. It's not like Phaenax communicates with everyone who comes across or everyone who prays to him. To have some type of connection or to ask for aid from one of the gods is special, and if someone is going to easily ask for a favor or ask for a bargain, I imagine that they must have some type of reach. I guess this could be some type of greater conspiracy, but I figure to some extent this has to be a. I would anticipate or imagine that an oracle would have some type of involvement here.
At the core, we believe that an oracle got pulled one over on Phoenix in an attempt to steal his seat, right?
That is what I would.
Yeah.
I would assume that, yes.
But in theory, it could be anyone, but it's most likely an oracle.
Yes.
Sounds like a Dunos is looking more and more likely.
Yep.
Continue to use your cube of contact, Ugo, even though we know you're really a different person than you claim to be.
Wait, what did you say?
Use your cube of communication still. Can we still talk to you? Or is
That
that
cube went directly to me. He holds up a matching cube.
All right, Ugo, how about this? We're going to follow this lead. Do you have any agents in place that can attempt to bring a combined Theros against the Archon to buy time?
What do you have in mind?
Well, the people of I was gonna say Acreus. What's the name of what's Sparta called? The people of Acreus could use
Acreus.
any and all military assistance. It seems like.
Well, I can. I'm sure I can reach out and try and push pieces around. I can't exactly call favors in, but I can definitely have some agents, as you called them, put people in the right places in order to get things moving. Anywhere you had in mind? Might I recommend not Odonos if you're planning on going there? There's no way. I would imagine that it's best not to tip off the people who you're attempting to investigate.
brand I showed you, Ugo? This right here, the Archon tells me exactly where the army's headed at any given point. So I will let you know as soon as we know.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think having that's a good idea?
I look at Ugo, and I'm very happy.
Well, now we know where the army's destruction is headed, to either avoid it or to aid it.
Can you tell me where the army is right now?
Head south.
No, but can you tell me exactly where they are?
Let me see. Mr. Rune on my wrist, where is the army headed?
You got nothing.
I don't know where anything is.
He kind of like walks over and he's like, "Can you hold out your arm, please?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna see what's going on with this."
He's a Phoenix Oracle. It's okay, Acreus.
I don't. What if you remove this thing?
Your arm? I'll get you a new one.
Okay,
It kind of starts to glow a bit.
I'll hold it out. Hold my arm out.
And he kind of like, after a brief period of time, he like comes back up and he's like, "Okay. I would be mad about this, but I've taken precautions already. You're being scryed on. This isn't a two-way communication. This is a one-way communication. He can reach out to you and tell you where to go and tell you where the army is, but you can't reach out to him, which might be beneficial to us."
Yeah, that's what I thought. He's going to tell me where the army's headed.
Right, but you have no he looks around. He has no control over it. The Archon will just know where you are.
Can the Archon hear him when he says?
Well, not when we're in here, because like I said, I would be angry if I didn't take precautions. This is all kind of sealed off.
Do you
So,
have any items or anything that we could use to, or spells that we could use to negate the effect should we need to?
so that's my problem, is if we suddenly remove the brand, I worry that this Archon will go to your last pinged location and then, well, I fear that it will just rampage in that area. So,
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get rid of
perhaps,
it now. I just think if we could get rid of it on a whim, that would be a good tool for us to have at our disposal.
he like looks around. Do
What's your
we?
suggestion, Hugo? What do you think I should do?
I would have suggested this not happening, but we'll figure it out now.
Yeah.
He looks over to this guy over here. Do we have anything? Anything that might be able to help? The guy like looks at him and shrugs a bit.
How come I
He's
can't?
Like, all right.
I'll turn to Ugo and say, how come I can't read your thoughts?
Oh. He kind of like points at the mask. My mask lets me not have to deal with such trivialities as that. But I can't just give you that. This is bestowed upon me by Phaenax. I can't just provide you with this. He looks at another one of the worshippers. Their masks don't do that. So this is
That's
more
okay,
of an
Ugo.
or. I'm going to attempt to figure out how best to help you with dealing with this brand.
You can't reverse engineer this thing so you can see him. You're pretty magical.
I get my magic from the gods, and while Phaenax has the ability to dampen or even nullify that type of scrying magic, I do not have such capabilities. I will see if there's anything that I can do, and I will have to do a bit of reading. But that's something that I will have to get back to you on. Besides all that, was there anything else you might have discovered while out? You were up in Akros over at Deathbellow. Was there anything similar, or anything like that, to this Cyclops that was randomly in a Thassa temple?
Didn't
The
one of you
Minotaur
say?
were behaving similarly, but I think they had marks, not idols. There was like one idol corrupting a location, but they also seem to have brands and or reactions to the brands. Whatever you make of that, I'm not sure. I don't have any familiarity with that.
There was
Yeah, I
al-
was. Go, Link. Go.
Yeah, there was also the move on by some Phaenax worshippers to try to take the light of the urn we were sent with, right?
Yeah.
So that was my doing.
Okay. What were you hoping to get out of that?
I was hoping to perform an act of service in favor of Phaenax against Iliad.
Cool.
So you say this brand is for simple scrying, and yet when I revealed this to Minotaur, they instantly regarded me as their friend sometimes. Some of them started screaming uncontrollably, and they didn't want to attack me. So I think there's a little more to this than the simple scrying spell.
Well, I mean, yes, there's like sending and messaging there as well, and this is kind of a like multi-tool, as it were. He could communicate with you. He can detect where you are. It also denotes that you are essentially his, That's just kind of how Archons work. He views you as his property. And if he has any influence over the Minotaur as well, he's not going to want any of his thralls destroying his property, as it were. So it seems like, he kind of like pats your head, it seems like you are Minotaur proof.
Awesome. All right. Well, you'll call us on the cube when you think of something, or you want us to hang out a little bit. What do you want us to do?
I want you to spend the evening, spend the day here. It's still pretty early on, as you're very well aware, though it's kind of hard seeing as there's no windows. I want you to spend the day. I want you to relax, prep yourselves. Maybe he kind of looks over all of you and is like, it would be in my best interest to recommend, as a holy man myself, that you maybe seek out some revelations or some guidance from your individual houses of worship.
Puggles shakes.
What? Shakes your head, or
Starts shaking.
oh. And hopefully, I will have some type of solution for the brand problem, and maybe we can figure out how to go forward from here and tackle what's in front of us.
And I lean over. I like look over at Poggles and say, "I think you have a date with Farika, man."
That's cool. No, Puggles is scared.
Look to
Does that
Valto.
sound good to everyone?
I guess
Yeah,
so.
no,
Unless
Sounds
we need
good
to
for
rush
now.
out of here.
that's how I expected my morning to go.
Well, I mean, it can go better. The tavern outside, they make a good egg.
Oh,
Sorry.
people who own this tavern understand what's going on.
Yes.
Okay, so they won't be confused if I walk in and walk into this wall again.
No, they're the believers.
Okay.
There's some other.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ugo. You've given us a lot to think about.
Not too much, I hope, because there's not really much to think about, as far as I'm concerned.
More than ever.
All right, well, we'll be in touch. Wait, Ugo, do you want us to come back here in the morning, or
I'll find you, I'm sure.
I'm sure you will.
Yep, I'm confident I'll be able to find all of you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ugo, and I'll turn and start leaving.
Still go.
And if any of you have questions, feel free to throw them at him. I'm just gonna start heading out of the room.
No, I'm just sort of processing. It's been a big day for Canathos. A lot of. He never saw this coming.
And you also have a date with Krufix. You and Balthus.
Yeah, I'm distinctly uncomfortable with that prospect as well.
Player question: why are you Krufix and not Heliod again?
I'm Krufix because I was like very anti-god, but my wife, like the person who became my wife, is an oracle of Krufix. So I was like, oh, gods don't matter, and then I learned that gods do matter. So I'm not unwilling Krufix, but I'm just clueless.
I may need to go in the next 5 minutes, depending if people can get the fucking shit together.
I mean,
Okay.
this is a terrible stopping point anyway. Like maybe
It's a great stopping point.
Yeah,
Like this
is-
was a huge.
+1 that because I could go eat dinner.
this is a good stopping point. I think opening with the revelation would actually be pretty fun next time. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't know if it.
Like player wise, I also want to like process what just happened player wise. So
Yeah.
I think it might
Also,
also
for
be.
reference, I would have. What was the DC on that fucking command spell higher than a 23?
You would have never passed it.
23?
You never passed it.
Okay,
Just
because
auto happens.
I should have actually had to make the check and fail, by the way.
It wouldn't have auto happened, but Okay, I shouldn't say you wouldn't. I wouldn't say you would have never passed it if he rolled even
No.
like average.
What's the
Say
DC
again?
though on the command zone?
Oh, the DC was. Let me pull it up. I think it was like 18.
All right, I would have
So you
passed. It's fine.
Okay,
Well,
so
I would have burned my fucking
you
portent
would have
roll.
been fine because I would have anticipated you being like, okay, here's the 20
Yeah.
from the portent.
That's exactly what would have happened.
You would have had to use the portent.
For reference, though, command isn't a charm. I'm
Oh.
some.
Well,
All right, well, I'm gonna go grab some food then. If we're stopping here and
Yep.
like think about what the fuck just happened.
and go. Yeah. This is, for the record, don't look at this as a he's just spilling on this. This has literally been the plan.
Oh, I agree with you. Trust me.
Never a Thassa.
Frank, when you entered into Ugo after session 3, I should have known, but I didn't.
Okay, so it's kind of awkward. If you've ever played games with me in the past, Ugo's my DM insert.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
he's in every single campaign I have. He ranges from having large roles to having like random like cabbage man on the street who sells like cabbages. He's literally just I always have an Ugo because that's just it.
Like the guy in Adam Sandler movies.
What'd you say?
You mean Adam Sandler?
Yeah, Rob Schneider in every movie. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Ugo's just always there, and it's taken to a point where like I said, I have to give him varying levels of roles because if he always has a big role, then people are like, "Oh, he's the important character," but he's very rarely big important character. And this time I was like, "Well, fuck, I'm just gonna make him big important character this time."
I haven't played like in your campaign yet, so it's like we didn't know. At least I definitely didn't know.
Mm-mm.
Which I was thinking about. I was like, I don't think anyone here's played in a campaign that I've run
I did.
recently at all, so no one would know that Ugo was here. But if like you or any of the other people I play with, session 1 Ugo shows up, they've been like, "Oh, it's Ugo, he's here."
This is the guy.
Getting Ugo already, and then they would have probably been like, "Oh, I guess he's gonna be like a sad, stuttering man again," and he usually is.
Love it.
So are we? I have a bit of a question here. I think there's a reasonable chance we either win or lose on Strahd on Monday. Do we have a plan after that? Because are we just not going to play for like 11 days or 12 days for Theros? Sorry, what I'm trying to say is we're going to finish Strahd more or less probably on Monday.
I was under the impression you guys were either finishing on Monday or by next Saturday. So if you wanted to play this next Saturday and then again on Monday, we can do that as well.
I want to give that to Alex though, because I don't know the turnaround on campaign 2 if we'll actually be done Monday or like what's going on.
So
It's either we-
so
11 days.
so
Go ahead.
here I'm gonna end the streams because I think we're done with Theros. But